Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Dawn.
We are here. We got this little podcast called Enchanted Magic, and we want to talk to you if it's your first time planning a Disney trip. We're going to do a short little series of these because when we first started, we had no idea what we were doing, and in the course of a few years, we figured it out pretty quick. But that first trip was
A mess.
a complete mess, and I think it is with a lot of people. So we're going to try our best to help you. We got a few little points here, and then for the next several weeks, we'll talk about things that, like, if you've never been before, you might need to know. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, and we appreciate you watching. Number one, this happened with us, and the bottom line is quit talking about it and just book the trip, because it only takes, whether you go through a planner or not, and we did go through one to start with, it's only $200 deposit to get the thing started. It don't matter if it's a year and a half away. You can put down the 200 and slowly pay for it, and that is great because that's what we did, and that's still kind of what we do. So,
And you have up until 30 days before your trip to have it paid off.
right. So go ahead and start making little payments on it. Don't let it all sneak up on you at once, and that way you don't have to worry about, coming up with several $1,000s right off the hip. So I would recommend using a planner on your first trip, especially since you don't know what's going on. We are not planners. I'd be more than happy to help you, get some stuff together if you need that. So just shoot us an email or whatever. But find you a planner that's good. That way, at least the first trip, they can help you along, and make sure nothing big's missing or whatever. So that would definitely be my advice. And that's sort of my second tip is you definitely need somebody, whether it's a friend or a YouTube person or whatever, to help you plan the first trip, because there's multiple parks, there's 20-something hotels, and each family or individual or group or whatever is different. Like some people may want to spend more time at the hotel, so you may go to this hotel, or you may not care about the hotel and just want to go cheap as possible, and you go here. So
All
definitely
depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, like you need to kind of sit down with a planner and say, I've got kids or I don't have kids, and here's the priorities, and here's, I think, the time we'll spend at a hotel, and this is what we're looking for at the hotel, and that sort of thing. So now, granted, all the hotels are great, but some of them have more amenities and, of course, cost more versus others. So definitely find somebody to help you plan your first trip. Number 3. This one is a hard one for me. You need to plan a rest day.
Yes.
Or it's according to how long you're going, or a rest period. Our first trip, we went for a week. And
That's a good time, though, for a first trip.
It is. And you can kind of cover your ground, and after the first couple of days, you start learning. But we had a whole day set aside for a rest day. Of course, I ruined it, and I took us to the Kennedy Space Center, and then we went to the Halloween parade, or party. But anyway,
So it really wasn't a rest day, but it was.
It don't sound like it, and you'll think people's crazy, but you will walk and walk and walk, and even if you're going slow with a big family, you're going to put in a lot of steps.
Yes.
And after about the second day, you're going to feel like you're falling apart, especially if you're, getting up semi-early to get there at a decent hour so you can get on some rides and not have to wait.
That's another good tip. Make sure you take very, very good walking shoes.
Don't buy them the day or two before. I see it. That's one of the number one questions I see posted in these groups. I'm going to Disney next week. What shoes should I take?
Yeah. And they're like, I just bought these shoes. I'm going to take them to Disney.
Whatever you got broke in already, take those. And everybody's foot, this is not even on my list, but everybody's foot's different. So, like, I may tell you to buy some Brooks, but they may not fit you and you may hate them. Or I may, the On Clouds and the Brooks are my two go-tos, but I know people that love the Hokas and all this other stuff. So, anyway, we can talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But plan a rest day, or if you're going for a shorter period of time, at least what we like to do is, like, go to the park when it starts getting really busy about lunchtime or a little after. Go back to the hotel, especially if you got kids. Chill out for a couple hours, let them nap, whatever, rest your feet, and then go back in ready to rumble at about, according to what time of the year, but in the afternoon or evening. And that way, and it sucks because you're like, I've got $150 a person per ticket invested in this, but
it's worth it, though.
you will completely fall out.
And I say it's worth it because if you have that period of time where you get to rest, you get to do all the things in the evenings that they provide, like the fireworks and all the performances they do at all the different parks.
I don't know how many people I know
Yeah.
that don't even know we go to Disney as much as we do, and I'll see them post on Facebook. They'll go in the morning, and they'll have to bail out at 4 or 5 o'clock, and they're missing like
Everything.
some of the best stuff
Yeah.
at any of the parks is in the evening. So go ride the bus back, take a few minutes, ride the bus back, spend a couple hours resting and take a nap and let the kids lay down.
Agreed.
And then come back and stay till it closes and see all the parades and fireworks and all the cool stuff. So number 4, learn at least a little bit about the transportation system at Disney, because it is very confusing to a new person.
We were definitely confused.
Yeah, like at certain hotels, there's only buses. So you can either, if you drive in, of course you can drive at the park, no big deal. But if there's bus only, you take just the bus. But there's other hotels where there's a Skyliner and the bus, and the Skyliner will take you to certain parks. The bus will take you to others. There's certain hotels that has the monorail, and that'll take you to certain parks. You got to take a bus to others. So at least find out for your hotel. And again, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to talk about them on here or a quick email or whatever. And we're not, like I said, we're not planners. We don't make any money off any of this. We're just trying to be helpful and do something that we like doing. So learn and there's boats. There's so much stuff. But what's cool is once you learn it, maybe not your first trip, but like if you got a couple days, it is super cool to be able to ride the Skyliner, which is like a gondola chairlift sort of situation. The monorail, I think most people know what that is. Even if you're not staying at one of those hotels, it's super easy to do. Like you can leave a park, take a bus to a different hotel and ride that. We had some people that went recently, and I was like, hey, you should try the monorail, so you should leave the park and go here, and you can, so at least know about your hotel, because you may just have buses, or I've seen people in groups, and when we've been there, be it like the Art of Animation, and they can't find the bus that goes to Epcot. There's not a bus that goes to Epcot. You got to go at the back and go to the Skyliner. So that could probably be a whole video.
Yep. Be careful, though, because I've seen people, too, as we were leaving, they stay at a hotel that's supposed to be, that's connected to a monorail, and some of those, they don't have buses to them, and so they have to go all the way back through security. So make sure that you are aware of your coming and goings of what transportation that you have to take. Not
that this will happen to you, but let's say you think that you can take the Skyliner to your hotel, and let's say you cannot. Well, if you go out the back of Epcot to the Skyliner, the buses go to the front. So if you go out the back and the park closes, you're going to have to call an Uber or something. You're not getting back to the front because you can't get back through the park.
So it's probably just easier if you don't know, just ask a cast member.
Yeah.
Which one before you leave out? Ask them which one you need to be taken.
Yeah. The next point is pre-plan your food. I'm not saying to buy the dining plan,
right,
because we've never done it. From my research, it seems like it would take more really hard food planning, and sometimes it just don't work out. Like you get stuck in watching a parade, or you get stuck on a ride, or what. So my advice would just to be put money aside for food and kind of have an idea of what you want to do. Our thing is generally do something cheap for lunch, or even take in sandwiches or Lunchables or whatever.
Yes.
Because you can take in a cooler, and then maybe splurge a little bit more for dinner. But then you got to decide, do I want to waste basically 2 hours during the park day, or do I want to try to go eat after? It's according if you got kids or not, basically. Right. Like if it was just us, I'd wait till the park closed at 10 and still eat somewhere. You can have a reservation at a lot of places right there at the end of the park day in the park, or you can leave, and that's another thing about transportation, and go to all these restaurants all over the place within Disney World property and still be fine. So you just got to figure out the whole thing. Do you want to do character meals? Do you want to do cheap? Do you want to do, all this stuff? So pre-plan it. Kind of figure out maybe daily, this is what I need for food money, and my advice will just be to put that money aside over the course of while you're paying for your trip. Because I also see a lot of people post that they bought the dining plan and they end up with a ton of credits that they can't do nothing with except maybe give to people at the end of the trip because it didn't plan out like they thought.
And
so.
another thing about what he was saying is, I've had multiple people tell me, because I would tell people, oh, we took a cooler in with waters in it or sandwiches in it, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that you could do that. You're always allowed to take in your own cooler with drinks and snacks, and
if you can do that, like a water in Disney World is like $6.
Yeah.
Order. It's a whole nother thing we'll talk about probably on another one, but like order a Walmart order to your hotel. They'll bring it straight to the hotel. You meet them at the front and get it, or the hotel will hold it for you. And then you've got like $4 in 40 waters versus $6 in one little water. So,
and plus they do give out free cups of water.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
But they'll put out trays most of the time at certain like
But
restaurants.
I mean, sometimes that can be a little inconvenient to try to go and
get like a cup.
If you just have your own cooler with waters in them, then that's more convenient.
But my favorites, we take in like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We can eat lunch either like waiting in a line or very quickly and not waste a bunch of time. Or when you take that middle of the day hotel break, eat at the hotel, and then in the evening do something a little fancier.
Yeah, to splurge a little bit more.
Next plan is have backup plans.
Absolutely.
Whether that is you or your kid gets sick, have medicine with you.
Yes.
What if they get sick and you can't even go to the park that day? What's the plan? What if it rains? All that stuff. Have an idea what's going to happen.
I found out on this trip that the what is it? The care center. I think it's called the care center.
The first aid station, whatever.
They, you can go there and you can get like Tylenol, ibuprofen. And the thing that I didn't know is she gave me this card that said Disney would go and get medication. Like if you were too sick to like leave your hotel or anything, they would go get medication and deliver it right to your door of your hotel room so that you wouldn't have to leave.
Or we've Walmart ordered
That's true.
medication before, like over-the-counter
but
stuff.
But sometimes you have to sign for it.
Yeah.
So
if
you didn't have somebody else with you or anything, then they could bring it straight to you.
Yeah.
But definitely have it. I mean, even if your kid's not sick, allergies, since the weather is always changing from wherever you're at. That's always ibuprofen, always for adults and kids.
Yeah. What are you gonna do if you get a blister on your foot? What are you gonna do if
I have a first aid pouch thing that I take with us every time, and it's got, like I said, if you want to send us an email or whatever, I can tell you exactly everything that we have in there. Like it's even down to motion sickness medication for us and for Joanna, because you never know.
I've started making like a list that I could put in the description of these videos, and maybe you could just click on and see kind of like, here's what we take, and see if it's something. But anyway, I'll try to put it in there. It may not be right when this video comes out, but always have a backup plan for everything.
Always.
Like you never know when it's going to rain. You never know when the kid's going to be sick or you're going to be sick or whatever. And don't let it ruin the whole trip.
Yeah.
Like just make it work. Next point, have a priority list of like, you could spend a month there and never do everything there is to do at Disney World.
Yeah.
So have everybody have like their top 3 things. Like we got to do this. If I want to ride Space Mountain on the trip, there we go. If she wants to go meet Winnie the Pooh, there we go. And that way you can make sure everybody gets to do what they want to do. And then once you get that done, you can do other stuff. But I hate when people go and have their heart set on something and then
don't get to
forget about it, or it don't happen, or they don't realize there's a huge line in the middle of the day or whatever. So have everybody's priorities and then kind of go from there with your planner.
Yeah.
Another point is learn if you're going to use Lightning Lanes. Lightning Lane is the skip the line service Disney offers. So like, just a random example, let's say you're going to Magic Kingdom, which is the main park, and let's say that day it's $35 a person. So, and you can pay for it in advance. And then you get to select like 3. This would be a whole nother video, but you can select 3 rides ahead of time that you want to skip the line, and then as you use those, you can book more. But watch videos, get the app. We're going to talk about the app in a minute, but learn that ahead of time, and it will save you. I see people that comment on Facebook and say, I bought Lightning Lanes, it wasn't worth it, I only got 3 rides. And I'm like,
But
we've never done it and not got over 10 rides
Right.
because we know how to use it or whatever. So learn lightning
with the
lanes.
exception of our first trip.
Yeah, with that
Because
yeah.
it was a mess. And I said, yes, we need the lightning lanes. I did watch videos, but I don't think I studied enough on the actual app to realize what we needed to do. And honestly, it was me that was planning it because he had no idea about anything about Disney. And we've already done a whole video about our first experience.
It's kind of funny.
So you'll have to go watch it.
Yeah.
But you'll just have to, just make sure you watch videos and just get on the app and just play. You can look at everything and without even having to be in the park.
Yeah. You can look at wait times. You can look at prices of lightning lanes. You can look at places to book and eat and all that. So just get on there and click around. You can't hurt anything.
Yeah.
And the last point we had for this video is learn that app. It's called My Disney Experience. And on that app is everything. It'll be your hotel reservation. It'll be your lightning lanes, your restaurant reservations, your everything.
Even your tickets.
Yeah, your tickets are on there.
If you don't have your Magic Band or
everything. So get on there, download it. You don't even have to create an account. You can look at 90% of it without any account. But if you've booked or are booking, go ahead and make an account. They'll link it, and then about a month out, it'll say check in now. And I've had multiple people message me that we know and say, why does it want me to check in now? But all that is it tells you or asks you do you need wheelchair accessibility, or do you have this or that or other? So go ahead and do that. But that whole app is everything. It's wait times at every park. It's lightning lanes. It's all the restaurants. You can learn a ton on there. So get that app early.
You can find out where all the characters are, where all the meet and greets.
Yeah, parade times, firework times.
And again, if you need something for your kids to do while you wait in line, give them your phone and be like, hey, look at the wait times. You'll notice on a lot of our videos that our child is like, hey, such and such is at this time and this is at this time. It's just something to keep them busy too. So.
Yep. But definitely get that app downloaded, and you'll do. There is, I guess, to the point of you cannot go to Disney World without using that app. I don't know how that would work because everything is on it. So do that. Watch a bunch of videos, not just us in particular.
Yes.
After our first trip, I watched probably 5 or 6 people constantly for almost a year to really plan out our next year's trip, and by then I had it figured out. But I didn't watch anything beforehand, but I think it does take at least one time of getting there, and everything's not going to go completely perfect, but you can at least learn your surroundings and how the stuff works, and then for the next trip, okay, now I remember how this works, so watch a bunch of videos. But that's all our points for this. We'll probably do several weeks of these videos, and I'll pile them into a little playlist and hopefully help some people out, because I'll never forget that feeling of getting to Disney World and thinking, I wish I would have had time to watch videos, and got there in the middle of the night. You'd have to watch the video, my first Disney experience video we did the other week, but it was awful. And it took multiple days just to figure out simple things like where do I go get food, or how do I get to different parks or whatever. So get with a planner. That's probably a big thing, or somebody, if you got a buddy that's been to Disney or whatever.
And again, we're always here to help.
We'll be happy to answer if we can do any help in any way, just randomly. But also, if this, as we grow and grow, I don't want to have 100 people a day texting us stuff, about whatever, because we probably couldn't keep up with everybody. But videos are great from everybody, and you can even just people walking around live, and you can see how the park flows or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll do several of these, and then on Thursday nights we're live. When we're at Disney, usually we're live in the park. When we're not at Disney, we're live here. So stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, and we appreciate y'all watching.
Bye.
See ya.